All right, this is the last set of notes for 2.1. This is what interactions can waves undergo, and this is 2.1D. So reflection. Reflection happens when a wave bounces after hitting a barrier. So sonar. You got sonar coming from the submarine. It's bouncing off the ship. So you've got sound waves bouncing off. And then here, what we're pretty familiar with is light reflecting. So off of something shiny, or really a lot of things, but you got a flashlight here bouncing off a mirror. That's a reflection. Make sure you write down what's in red in your notes. So all waves can be reflected. Again, you got this example of light being reflected, and then you can also see how sound waves are reflected. We already looked at the one with the submarine, but you got ways that animals communicate. It bounces off an object, and then they can tell how far away it is based off of that. And then we've got refraction. So refraction is the change in direction of a wave when it changes speed as it travels from one material or medium to another. So for example, if you've ever put a straw or anything in water, you can see how it looks disconnected. So that's refraction. And you can also see with this glass of water going in front of this checkerboard, the medium, which is the water, is changing the speed at which the wave is traveling. And here's another picture. So again, to further explain, refraction occurs when a wave changes speed. Light waves change direction when they slow down as they pass from air to water. So the water is slowing down the speed and direction. Sorry, slowing down the speed and changing the direction. Now you've got diffraction. So diffraction is the bending of waves around a barrier or through an opening. And again, this is known as diffraction. So you've got some waves traveling here, and you've got these barriers here blocking it from fully passing through, so it bends. Here's another example of these waves, water waves, approaching this cove. Is that the right word for it? Yeah, a cove. And you can see when the waves enter that they bend. And then lastly, this one, which looks like a brick, like at the bottom of a pool. And you've got these waves approaching it. And then once it hits the brick, you can see after it, these waves are bending. Interference. So interference happens when waves overlap. It's not necessarily for you to memorize these two different kinds, but you can see what happens when these two waves overlap. They increase amplitude, and then these two ones decreases amplitude. Another real life example that you've probably seen is when you've dropped like two pebbles in water, and those waves overlap and interfere with each other. There's that example again of the interference in water. All right, and lastly, we have resonance. So resonance is a vibration produced in one object that is caused by the vibration produced in another. So if you see this example, we hit this tuning fork with a hammer, and those vibrations there are then transferred to the other one because those waves are traveling through the air and then transferring that energy to the other tuning fork.